During a recent test flight of SpaceX's Starship prototype, something went wrong. Very wrong. The rocket exploded mid-air, sending debris raining down and causing many to wonder what could have possibly caused such a catastrophic event. Was it sabotage? A malfunction in the onboard systems? Or perhaps something more sinister, lurking in the depths of space? Details have been scarce, but we do know that Elon Musk himself has come forward to shed some light on the situation. He's promised to reveal the cause of the explosion, but the question on everyone's mind is, will his explanation satisfy the curiosity of the masses? Let's find out in today's video. It's been years in the making, and finally, the moment we've all been waiting for has arrived. SpaceX has launched their highly anticipated Starship, and let's just say it was nothing short of spectacular. Elon Musk promised that excitement was guaranteed, and boy, did he deliver. As we marveled at the powerful rocket lighting up the sky, the command center was watching in horror as disaster seemed imminent. But despite the nail-biting tension, the Starship managed to take off from its launch pad in Boca Chica, Texas on April 20th, and it was a sight to behold. The integrated spacecraft, measuring a whopping 120 meters, soared into the sky, leaving observers in awe. However, it wasn't an easy journey to get to this point. The launch of the Starship had been pushed back several times, causing frustration and anticipation amongst space enthusiasts. In fact, this particular launch was originally scheduled to happen on April 17th, but after years of setbacks and delays, the Starship finally made its debut. Despite the fact that the first launch of SpaceX's Starship didn't have any people or satellites on board, it was a highly anticipated and exciting event. However, during the last few minutes of the countdown, SpaceX had to call off the launch due to a pressurization issue. Elon Musk himself took to Twitter to explain that a pressure and valve had frozen and that the team had learned a lot from the experience. They planned to try the launch again in a few days. Amidst the delay, the SpaceX teams continued to execute the countdown sequence and used a dress rehearsal to simulate takeoff operations. This was likely done to determine if there was any damage to the rocket and how extensive it was. And finally, on April 20th, Musk stayed true to his word and announced that the launch would take place in the morning. Those who tuned in saw the mammoth rocket roar to life, and for the first time ever, the two-stage ship left the ground. The launch was going smoothly, and viewers watched in awe as the Starship climbed higher and higher into the sky. But just a few minutes into the launch, about 3 to 4 minutes to be exact, something unexpected happened. The launch was supposed to end up with a 90-minute trip around the Earth before a splashdown close to Hawaii. However, that didn't happen. So what went wrong? Why did the Starship explode mid-air? Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the mystery and reveal Elon Musk's shocking explanation for the disaster. After reaching max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure, during its launch, which is a critical moment for any rocket, the Starship SN-11 started to experience a tumble out of control while it was about 18 miles, 29 kilometers, in the air. It only took about a minute for the rocket to start falling, and eventually it exploded in mid-air due to the onboard charges that were set off. Now, you might be wondering how such a massive rocket could go out of control like that. The answer lies in the rocket's launch being too powerful for its own good. During the launch, the rocket turned on all 33 of its Raptor engines simultaneously, as it was designed to do. However, about 6 of them failed to fire, which was noticed by some observers about 1 minute into the launch. At the 3-minute mark, the 2 stages of the rocket, the Super Heavy and the Ship 24 upper stage, were meant to separate and push the rocket even higher into the sky. However, this didn't happen as planned, and that was when the tumble began. When a rocket malfunctions like this, it can be incredibly dangerous. That's why most rockets have a flight termination system, which is a series of charges that go throughout the length of the vehicle. If the rocket experiences what's called rapid unscheduled disassembly, RUD, which is essentially a catastrophic failure, the flight termination system can be used to destroy the rocket and minimize the risk of damage or injury on the ground. In the case of the Starship SN-11, the flight termination system was used to destroy the rocket after it started to malfunction due to the rapid unscheduled disassembly. This was a necessary safety measure, as it prevented the rocket from crashing down to Earth and potentially causing damage or harm. As the dust settled after the explosion of the massive rocket, SpaceX quickly explained that they had actually ordered the destruction of the Starship. This means that either someone operating the rocket from the ground or the onboard computers themselves triggered the flight termination system, resulting in the spectacular fireball we all witnessed. Despite the fact that the launch didn't go exactly as planned, the cheers from observers and SpaceX engineers were incredible. In fact, many called the launch a success, and in a way, they are not wrong. Even though the Starship didn't make it to its intended altitude, and the mission objectives weren't fully achieved, the team was able to gather valuable data and insights from the launch. This information will undoubtedly help SpaceX improve future launches and bring them closer to their ultimate goal of interplanetary travel. Also, the Starship launch was a reminder of the risks and challenges of space exploration, but also of the resilience and determination of those who undertake it. SpaceX will undoubtedly learn from this experience and continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space travel. As SpaceX has had numerous failed launches, particularly with the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets, explosions are just stepping stones for them towards eventual success. The Starship was built with extra care, as its primary goal is to land on Mars, so it was evident that they were not expecting this launch to be a roaring success. In fact, they had tested the Starship several times over the years, and most of them exploded during the process. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk himself congratulated the team on the successful test launch after the explosion. While the launch may have failed to achieve its goal, it was still an incredible feat of engineering, and SpaceX's engineers were thrilled with what they accomplished. They know that with each launch, they are one step closer to realizing their dream of traveling to and colonizing Mars. The explosion of the Starship rocket may have been disappointing, but it was still a significant achievement in SpaceX's journey towards space exploration. While it wasn't perfect, NASA Administrator Bill Nelson took to Twitter to congratulate SpaceX on their achievement, stating that every great achievement throughout history has demanded some level of calculated risk, and with great risk comes great reward. Jim Bridenstine, another official at NASA, also expressed his excitement and support for the Starship program, hoping that it will help move the agency forward since it was picked up as part of the Artemis program and is expected to land astronauts on the moon by 2025. While opinions differ on whether the test flight can be considered a complete success or not, experts believe that SpaceX is still on track to revolutionize the space industry with their Starship rocket. Caleb Henry, a director at the space research firm Quilty Analytics, doesn't think this test flight will slow down SpaceX's progress, as the Starship met expectations by successfully showing that the entire booster can operate as expected, making it the most powerful rocket in the world. However, there is still some concern about SpaceX's reputation if they become known for public and explosive mistakes. They've enjoyed a pristine reputation so far in the space industry, and it would be unfortunate if that changed. After all, who wouldn't want to back a company that's known for being reliable and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in space exploration? The recent launch of the Starship rocket by SpaceX was intended to test the capabilities of the spacecraft and identify areas for improvement. The company aims to use the data gathered from the launch to make improvements to the Starship, with the ultimate goal of sending humans to Mars. Despite the explosion during the test, SpaceX remains committed to achieving its ambitious goals. However, before the Starship can be launched again, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, requires SpaceX to address certain safety issues, including the impact of the launch on public safety and the environment. The FAA wants to ensure that another flight will not pose a similar threat to the safety of people or the environment. The launch was not without consequences, as the massive Starship left a significant mark on its surroundings, including a massive crater on the launch pad that damaged it almost completely. The flight also ignited a fire that burned 3.5 acres of the Boca Chica State Park. The noise and debris from the launch stunned residents in the area and had a potentially negative impact on wildlife. To address these concerns, SpaceX plans to incorporate flame diverters and water suppression systems to redirect the rocket's exhaust and protect the launch pad and the rocket. However, these systems might not be feasible for a rocket designed to land on Mars and beyond. SpaceX needs to find a way to ensure public safety and protect the environment while still achieving its ambitious goals. In conclusion, while the recent launch of the Starship by SpaceX has yielded valuable data, it has also highlighted the need to address safety issues and protect the environment. Despite these challenges, SpaceX remains committed to its goal of making human travel to Mars a reality. The company will need to continue to innovate and find new solutions to overcome the challenges it faces. So, what are your thoughts about Starship's test flight? Did you enjoy it? Share with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, show us some love by hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below. Also, if you're a fan of all things technology, be sure to check out this other video we've got lined up for you. It's packed with all the latest news, tips, and tricks to keep you ahead of the curve.